dig into more of how to graph a line. So we looked at slope and what is slope. And so now we're going to look at actually the graphing part. So your homework is going to be like this. I'm not looking for you to draw a random line. Like, I'm looking for specific points and making sure it's going the right direction. So please make sure you follow along for our notes. So there's your equation, y equals mx plus b. Okay, the plus can be a minus sign. Okay, so the b is where you start, and then your m is going to be your rise over run. Okay, and then if it's a negative m, we go left. Positive m, we go right. Okay, and again, this all makes sense. So our first one is 1/2 x plus 3. So 3 is where we start. Okay, we start on the y-axis. So here's our center. We're going to go up 3 spaces, 1, 2, 3, and put a dot. All right. So now we look at the m, which is our 1/2. So the top number is how much we're going to rise. Second number is how much we're going to run, left or right. Since our m is positive, we're going to go to the right. So we're going to go up 1 space, to the right 2 spaces. And then we're going to continue that pattern until we run out of room at the top. So up 1 space, to the right 2 space. Rise 1 space, run 2 spaces to the right. Okay, so that's the top half. Now we're going to do the back half. So we're going to do the opposite. Since we went up and to the right, we're going to go down 1, to the left 2. Down 1, to the left 2. Down 1, to the left 2. Okay, and it's going to make a straight line. We're going to connect our dots. And then there is our graph for 1/2 x plus 3. All right, so let's look at a negative one. So negative 1/4 x plus 6. So again, we start at the back. I'm going to circle it. So we're going to start at positive 6. Start at the center. We're going to go on the y-axis 6 spaces up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and put a dot. Okay, now we look at our m. It's negative 1/4. So we're going to go up 1. We always rise, and then we're going to run, but this time we're going to run to the left because it's negative. So we're going to go up 1 space, to the left 4 spaces, and put a dot. All right, so now we're going to do the opposite because we can't go anymore. So we're going to go back to our original dot, go down 1 space. Instead of going to the left, we're going to go to the right 4 spaces. We go down 1 over 4, we're off the graph. So this one's only going to have 2 dots, and that's okay if it's got 2 dots because it can still make a line. So we're going to connect our dots, extend that line as far as it goes. So it looks like this. All right, so let's look at number 3. So 3/4 x minus 4. So again, this is where we start on the y-axis. So that's going to be this vertical line. Start at the center. We're going to go down 4 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we look at our fraction. So we're going to rise 3, run 4. And since it's positive, we're going to go to the right. So we're going to rise 3, 1, 2, 3, run to the right 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and put a dot. Okay, so rise 3, 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. And this one's kind of off the graph, so you at least can, and that's fine if you go off the graph, but don't just keep going and going and going. All right, so now we're going to do the opposite. So we're going to go to our original dot, go down 3, 1, 2, 3, and go to the left 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and put our dot. Now we're going to connect our dots. And so here is our graph. All right, so let's look at another one. So again, we start at the back on the y-axis, which is -2. So we start at the center, go down 2 spaces. Okay, so top number we rise, bottom number we run. It's negative, so we're going to run to the left. So we're going to go up 2 spaces, 1, 2. And again, since it's negative, we're going to run to the left. 1, 2, 3. And negative doesn't mean go down. We always rise first, and then we're going to run. So we're going to continue, rise 2, run to the left 3 because it's negative. Okay, so that's as far as we can go. So we'll go back to our original dot. And even if I said the original, that's where we start. But you can go to this dot and do the opposite. So down 2 over 3, down 2 over 3. And then down 2 over 3, down 2 over 3. So that does work as well. And then again, connect your dots. We put arrows on the end because it's a line that goes on forever. All right, so now we're going to look at some special cases. So all those had a fraction and had a number at the end. So what happens if we don't have a fraction? Okay, well, this goes back to our fraction rules. We need to make a whole number become a fraction. So to do that, we put a 1 underneath. So we're going to put a 1 underneath 3. So now it's 3 over 1. So -5 is where we start on the y-axis. So start in the center, go down 5 spaces, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and put a dot. So now we're going to rise 3, run 1. So we're going to rise 3 spaces, 1, 2, 3, and run to the right 1 because it's positive. Then we're going to continue 1, 2, 3, to the right 1. 1, 2, 3, to the right 1. 1, 2, 3, to the right 1. If we do the opposite, we're off the graph. So that's all we're going to do. We're going to connect our dots. And there is our graph. Okay, so again, if there's not a fraction, put a 1 underneath the whole number. All right, so let's look at this one. This one's even weirder than this last one. It's x plus 3. There's not a number in front. Okay, so what that means is, how many x's do we have? Well, there's 1, so I'm going to put a 1 in front. Okay, but it needs to be a fraction. So how do you make it a fraction? By putting 1 underneath. So now we have 1 over 1. So we start at the back with our positive 3. So start at the center, go to your y-axis, and count up 3 spaces and put a dot. Okay, now we're going to rise 1, run 1. It's positive, so we're going to go to the right one. Rise 1 over 1, put a dot. Rise 1 over 1, put a dot. Rise 1 over 1, put a dot. This one's going to have a lot of dots. So now we're going to do the opposite. So down 1 over 1, down 1 over 1, down 1 over 1, down 1 over 1, down 1 over 1. We're going to keep going until we can't put in any more dots. So again, lots of dots. We're going to connect them. And then we get our line. All right, so your homework, you're going to have 4 graphs. If you need help, again, go back and watch this video because you're going to have one of kind of like 4 of these. Again, I'm looking for specific dots that you've graphed. I'm not just looking for you to draw a random line. You've got to make sure wherever it says positive 3, you're at 3. And then if it's up 1 over 1, I need to see lots of dots. Okay, we're going to be working on this tomorrow. So if it gets a little confusing, just give it a day or two, and then tomorrow we will look more into graphing lines again.